Hey, good morning. So I want to share with you the story, which I kept to myself for a reason. I never shared it. I was planning to share it actually after the elections, but I'm forced to tell you today. And one of the reasons why I'm forced to tell you today is because I'm so upset with the story Oyuna Nakonde Umpi has told me. Lucas Simunda. I called him, we were talking on the phone. Then he was telling me about how corrupt by UPND were, They wanted also to corrupt him, to give him the money and all that. I was so shocked that they also did that to him. But I said, so that's why I say, you know what, let me just maybe also tell my people. Tell my people also my part of my story, which I only told Mundubire. I told Mundubire this story when it happened, and I also told Mao Sampa. Then I told other few friends of mine. I told a few friends of mine, Chapwa, then they advised me, no, keep it to yourself until maybe after my elections. That's when you can expose your friend who works for the UPND government. But I'm not going to mention his name. I'll still conceal his name because he's important to me too. We are friends, so I'm not going to say his name. Now, here's the story. So, I received a phone call from that friend of mine who works at State House. He told me that Creston Hamasaka and other people who work at State House want to make a deal with me. I asked him, what kind of deal Arena Hamasaka wants to make? He told that no, because if your passport was puire, meaning by HH, that he was very, very upset that people, they hate him so much, especially Bembas, because of my name is Bemba, so he himself, HH is childish. He said, oh, you see how Bembas hate me now, they are even tearing the passports, because they hate me so much. So, at boss that's hate what you did, and also it's a crime to discard the government property. So he said we are going to make a deal, Chanda, because and he wanted to make two deals actually. One deal, he said, because on social media, diaspora, UPND does not have the people who are influential who can speak out. Then people share their posts. They don't have. So we want to make you join UPND and start writing about HH. So when you start writing about HH, then you are free to come to Zambia. You can come to Zambia. You won't be arrested. And also, na passport, case what commit your crime, your passport, it will be like, it will be forgotten. That was the deal. But don't you have by UPND in diaspora who supports you like uyunanika no chichakwa Atlante chipuba chi George Mutonga. It was saying that no, that boy, he just makes noise. He does not make sense. But when you speak, abantu balomfwa. That's according to him. And the other pastors were paying pastors. Ati iwe Chanda nga walemba. Your followers, they pay attention and they share your posts. But the way George Mutonga Mungulu, that's according to himself. Okay? I'll mention his name after the elections. I don't want to put him in danger. So, that's why we need you to join UPND. Then we are going to forgive you about the case, that case here passport. And you can come to Zambia freely, you won't be arrested. Then the second deal, he told me that there is this guy, he owns one of the most expensive or one of the most advanced car washes in Lusaka. And he's just a young guy, he's a Bemba, his name is, in fact, I've forgotten his name, but his name is Bemba. Then, it's not a common name like Musonda or Buaria, but it's Bemba name. It's not common, he told me, but I forgot. But I'll remember, when I remember, I'll post it in the comment section. So he told me that boy, he's a UPND, he has money, but he wants to stand in Chawama, as a councillor. but we don't want him because alitumpa takwa tomuchinshi, and he does not give respect to his workers, to his employees, especially elderlies. But what do you mean that? Can you give an example? What did he do to his employees? That no, I'll share with you a video where he was yelling or cursing out the elderly man who was about 80 years old. He was sweeping and he was cursing him out. So that boy does not have respect. So in UPND, we don't want him to stand as a councillor. So in nasamu pusha, nasamu so mulefu wa nani mutonga mulefu wa yana mwemba munankwe. No, don't think that this is about tribalism, but the guy we want to put is a Tonga. But it's not that we are being tribal. No, we just don't want that guy to use his money and his influence because he's known Murusaka because of this his car wash. So we don't want him to use his influence, but because he has no morals. That's why we don't want him in UPND to stand, who councillor. So we want him to be exposed by you, Chanda, meaning me. I should write a post about him and expose him that he's not a good guy, and people should not vote for him. You see how UPND does, huh? They wanted me. They wanted to use a Bemba me to expose another Bemba. That's what they want. They wanted. Anyway, so I said, oh, okay, I'll think about it. Then he said, oh, okay, yes, please think about it because the Vena Masaka, they are ready to speak to you and make a deal with you. And they are ready to make a deal with you. So, then Mao Sampa, I know what, Chanda, I've worked with them before, so they are not reliable. So, you should pretend like you are going along with them, but just get all the information. That's what Mao Sampa advised me, and I followed the advice. Then Mundubire just laughed, he just shook his head. And that, you know what, this is so sad that this is happening in Zambia. That's what Mundubire said. That's why I love Mundubire, because Mundubire, I'm feeling private. He does not say anything bad about UPND. He does not say anything or say anything evil about HH, nothing. This was a private conversation, he just laughed. And just said, you know what, this is unfortunate. That's all he said. So, okay, this just one of the reasons. I've got so many reasons. This is just one of the reasons why and that. I was about to this guy, I know my friend at State House didn't tell me that, no, we don't want this guy because he's a Bemba. No, he didn't say that. He just said we don't want him because he has no respect. But I know it's tribalism. It's because he's a Bemba and they wanted to replace him with a Tonga. That's tribalism. Okay? But in addition, don't think I've got a lot to share with you. But I will when time is right. After when HH loses, you have no power, to prosecute anybody or to haunt anybody the way it does. So nkabeba fiance no kuzesiko fiance uyo mutongo wa kwate chiruko wa kuzesiko nkabeba fiance nkamuchita expose nkabilangish na yako na fiance. But if you, this is what I just wanted to tell you that they also wanted me to join UPND, but then later on they realized Chiamasaka na chitechi na kachimu itwachirya chi not Cornelius cha chimbi cha papa kwa timbi kwa dina munchene chirya chinani. There's another Muitwa, Larry Muitwa. They said, they told my friend, Chikonera Muitwa. They were telling my friend, you know what? I don't think Chanda is a kind of a person that can change from PF to UPND because he looks like he's a radical person. So we are just wasting our time. That was after I posted something about HH and Indoshi and all that. So then, that I don't think Chanda can change and start supporting us. So let's just forget. But myself, I was planning to start recording them. That's what all my friends advised me, that, you know what, just record them, record them begging you to join UPND, then expose them palasti. So I was ready for them to, to record them, but in Germano, Atine, I can't change because I'm radical. So I feel. So these are the true stories I'm telling you. God in heaven knows that this is what I'm, this is the truth. But him in the neighbor, not because I hate you, but I want to point the facts to you so that you can open your eyes and see that HH is not a good person. He's not good for the country. And he's corrupt. Imagine all this. Simumba, they promised me, I don't know if it's 4 million. He was telling me yesterday. I was shocked. They promised me that, no, in the case of passport, they'll forgive me. I should just support, start supporting HH. So this is the trend, this is a system, the trend. Understand? It's like a track record of them. They do that even to this. What they wanted to do to me is what they did to these rebel MPs about 307. So it's very, very sad. So uyomuntu uliwashita on yene nani kani. I don't know, I've forgotten the name. Kani Platinum, I don't know. But one of the advanced car washes in Lusaka. You have to warn him that warn him. I've been looking for him actually. And WhatsApp number yakonda ifua sana because inkamchite one number ishamusanga. Kashika nani yishina. I don't know, I think he wants Platinum. If it's not, then any Bemba guy, a young guy. So if you have a good morning.